As President Cyril Ramaphosa leads South Africa's delegation to that crucial meeting, the South African National Energy Development Institute has argued that coal still has a place in South Africa's energy mix. South Africa faces the prospect, of course, of intense power cuts over the Christmas period. Let's speak about both issues. We're joined by Professor Sampson Mamphweli from the South African National Energy Development Institute. Thank you for being with us. As always, Prof. Firstly, can you answer the question we're asking our viewers today? What do you think South Africa could hope to get out of COP28?
Good afternoon to you and the viewers. The most important thing for me is for during the negotiations for South Africa to get what they will be putting forward in terms of the national determined contributions, where we're looking at the increase in terms of the commitment from about 398 million metric tons of CO2 to about 510 million metric tons of CO2 between now and 2025. And from about 420 to about from about 350 to about 420 by 2030. That is the message that South Africa will be carrying there. But over and above that, the biggest issue is around the just energy transition and the climate finance. As the president indicated, most of this finance is coming as loans, and the grant part is the smaller portion. So South Africa will push for the grants to be more than the loans, because if you look at it from the beginning, the developed countries have got an obligation to assist the developing countries in terms of dealing with issues of climate change, dealing with just energy transition, and lowering of carbon emissions, because the developed countries basically industrialized, while emitting quite a lot of those into the atmosphere. As things stand, South Africa contributes about 1% of the global emissions, CO2 emissions. We still have the developed countries leading in terms of the global emissions. So the biggest thing, like I said, for us is to be assisted with the grants for us to deal with the just energy transition on the energy side of things. There are emissions in other sectors, such as your transport sector and all that, and South Africa has got a very solid strategies on how we will deal with those particular emissions in those particular sectors as well.
But Prof, I hope we have time to get to talk about coal and the coal, but can we be clear that if the loans become grants, we can only expect that to be for renewable energy initiatives? We can't expect anything else. It would have to be grants for renewable energy.
That is correct. So there's nothing wrong with the international community or the Development Finance Bank saying we are giving you grants for you to install your renewable energy systems. We are giving you grants for you to expand and strengthen your grid so that you can be able to take in more renewable energy. What the South African National Energy Development Institute has been arguing during our conference, and the message that we've been putting out there, is that the international community should not come here and say, we are giving you a loan and this is how you are going to use this particular loan. What we are saying is that if on the loan portion, they must say, we're giving you a loan, but the condition for this loan is basically to say that you must reduce your carbon emissions from where you are to a particular kind of threshold. How we do that, then it becomes our own kind of plans and initiatives on how we do that, because the loan is money that we're paying back. It's like when you get a loan from a bank to buy a car, they can't determine what type of a car you must buy. They can determine the amount that they are giving to you. They just need to ensure that the car that you buy is certified according to various certification bodies.
Okay.
So in this case, that's the message that we are sending, to say the loan part, we can use it to put in CO2 abatement systems in coal power stations, as long as we reduce the emissions.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. So the loan's not necessarily too stringent in terms of what they're used for. But what does it mean to say that coal has a place in the energy mix? Because we are still using coal. Of course, we're heavily reliant on coal, and we will be for years to come. But isn't it rational to use what we can, but future-wise, to not build any new coal-powered stations, but for future use only build new renewable energy capacity?
Yeah, so South Africa follows the integrated resource plan, which is our country's plan, the blueprint plan that we have. It's our social compact when it comes to the electricity sector. When it comes to coal powered stations, they provide us with base load for now. At a later stage, we're looking at the revised integrated resource plan. So what we are saying as the South African National Energy Development Institute is that when we consider the closing down of the various coal power stations, we must first ramp up new generation capacity from the various energy sources, including your gas, including your nuclear, and all the other energy sources as provided for in the integrated resource plan. What we are against is just the closing down of power stations without us having ramped up in terms of the new generation capacity, because it will then exacerbate the situation that we're sitting in at the moment. That is what we are calling for. We're calling for the energy mix in line with the integrated resource plan, but it must be done in a just and transparent manner. It must be done in a manner that will not affect the economy negatively going forward. And the only way to do it is to basically ramp up renewable energy, new generation capacity, bring in the various energy mix, and then we start to shut down the various coal-fired power stations to a level as determined through the integrated resource plan, because that document is the document that is done through a scientific process. So it's evidence-based kind of policy direction that we're calling for.
Sure. I wish we could talk about the cries once again that renewables are not coming on board quick enough, but we've run out of time for now. I hope to chat to you soon. SA National Energy Development Institute Energy Secretariat Head, Professor Sampson Mamphweli.